Hello there, Virgo. Thank you so much for stopping by for your monthly tarot video forecast for the month of February. This is the first time I've done monthlies. I have a completely different format than what I have for weeklies, so I'll be interested in seeing what kind of comments I get and feedback I get on this format. I'm not actually going to be showing you guys the cards for the monthlies because the spread that I'm using is different than the weeklies, and the way I read the cards is just completely different than any definitions that you're going to find. And so I kind of feel like showing you the cards would be more confusing than it would be helpful. I'm just going to tell you what I'm pulling off of these cards. So the first thing that we have showing up for you, Virgo, is about your environment. And environment has to do with any place that you have a lot of energy, effort, or resources invested. So most times it comes up as home, but I have also seen it come up as work or as school on several occasions before. So when we're looking at your environment, Virgos, what we've got going on is we have some real cooperation in the environment. It feels like people are working well together, and not only are they working well together, but they also have fun. They also enjoy each other's company together. So very pleasant environment showing up for you guys in February, Virgos. Now, next thing I'm looking at is your subconscious leanings. These are things that are going on in the back of your mind. Most of the time they are running on background program. Every once in a while they'll pop up into consciousness, but not all that often. So what I see running around in your background programming, Virgos, for February is that you have some lessons to be learned from a situation in the past. And I feel like your subconscious is still kind of working on those, still kind of like sifting through some of the past and trying to figure out the lessons um, so that you can hold on to those lessons and then let those memories that are not so much fun go. Pitch them, just keep the lessons. But your subconscious is working on that for the month of February is what I see here. Okay, so looks like you have a lot of love issues coming up this month, Virgo, just different things relating to love. You do have also maybe some kind of business stuff coming up here, but it looks like the main energy has to do with love and relationships for month of February. Now let's see here. The next card that I have talks to me about your learning style. And what I feel like whenever you're learning or researching about something, you're very piercing. You like to get right to the point and learn those things that you really need to know. I feel like you're very sharp when you're picking up new ideas, that it doesn't take you long. You pick them up really quickly and you're able to build on what you pick up on your own. You don't have to have someone explain every single thing and dot every I and cross every T for you. If somebody gives you the basic foundation of something, I feel like you can take that information and really go with it, Virgos. And that's really coming through strongly in February for you. As far as communication style in February for you, Virgos. The word that I'm hearing is alarmist. And to me, what that means is, and that's probably not even a real word, but to me, what that means is you're somebody who sounds the alarm. So if something's not right, you're the person that's out there letting other people know, hey, wait a second, let's look at this. Let's see if we can adjust this. This is not working right. We got to fix this. My dad once had a job working at GM where his thing was, as I understand it, and I was very young when he had this job, so I may not be saying this exactly right, but his job was to inspect vehicles, and if they had problems or issues that were quality issues or that were safety issues, it was his job to tell somebody who could do something about it. So he had to be the alarmist. He had to be the one that became the alarm that let people know, okay, something has to fix here, something has to be changed here. So this is what I'm feeling like for your communication style in February. And you should know that whenever I'm doing these types of general readings, these can be looking at either like generally how you communicate, or they can be talking about how you communicate with a particular person or a particular group of persons as well. It's all going to be different because it is a general reading. It's going to apply in different ways to each of you, but these are kind of the major energies for the month. So you may not be in alarmist mode with everybody that you talk to, but there's definitely something going on that you are the person who's supposed to sound the alarm if something is not going right. And I feel like you're very good at that part of it. And I am also feeling for some of you not so appreciated when you're saying something is wrong. So let's see, let's move on. The next thing that comes up does talk to me about your work. And work for me can be that way that you make a living. It can also be those things that you're doing to improve your own self or your own character. So for me, so this can come in either way for me. But what I'm seeing right now is with your work situation, whichever way this goes, I'm seeing that you're feeling kind of bound, like you don't know which way to go. And if we're talking about a work situation where you go to work the way that you make a living, this could be talking about having a situation that you don't know how to deal with. This could be a situation with a coworker that you don't know how to make it move forward. This could also be a situation with a project that you're trying to move forward and you're just not quite sure where's the avenue to do that. If you're doing some work on yourself, this may be coming to kind of an impasse, like you know what your goal is that you want to reach, but you're not, you've gotten so far and now you feel kind of stuck. So that could come in a few different ways. Here's the key though about this is that this limitation or this stuckness or this feeling of not knowing how to move forward if it's actually at work, either way, this whole situation is all making you feel stuck because of some kind of perception that you have. There's something about the way you're looking at the situation that is interfering with you seeing the way to move forward with this. So the best way to handle it is try to get a different perspective. Even if you have to just pretend, okay, well, I'm telling my neighbor about this situation and we'll see what that person has to say about it. If you can even pretend to do that and pretend, kind of figure in your mind, okay, well, what would the neighbor really say? Or what would my dad say? Or whatever. What would my sister say? Doesn't really matter who, just somebody, anybody. Just so you have a different perspective. If you can imagine telling them about what's going on and imagine what their reaction would be to what's going on, then that may be exactly the key that you need to break you free so that you can figure out how to make this project move forward or how to move forward in your own work on your character. So getting another perspective is the key here. That's what you want to do. All right, so the next thing that I'm looking at has to do with that part of you that's being grown or expanded right now. And it feels like right now, you're not exactly happy with your life or your lifestyle, and for a lot of you, this actually has to do with finances, although that's not going to be for everybody. But I feel like for maybe 60–70%, we're looking at this directly has to do with finances and money. So you're looking at your life and you're feeling like everything is not exactly the way I want it. So the part that's being grown or expanded right now is you learning how to deal with that. Okay, how am I going to respond to this, that life isn't everything that I want it to be right now? What do I do about that? Do I just accept it as it is? Do I find a way to be happy even though things are the way they are? Do I push forward, push to make things different? What do I do? That's what's being grown or expanded right now. Your ability to deal with the idea that life is not everything you want it to be at this particular moment in time. So that I see coming in for February. The next thing that we're looking at has to do with things that you would stand for. And it looks to me like you're sending somebody a message of love. And it's interesting because I don't see this come up too often, but it feels like this is being challenged by somebody else. Like when you're sending this person a message of love, somebody's looking at you like, are you nuts? What are you doing? Now, messages of love can be anything. This can be just doing something nice for somebody that you meet out on the street in front of your building. This can be, the engagement ring and the flowers and the chocolates, and this can be anything in between. But the key here is that this is something that an expression of love that you're making to somebody in your sphere of influence. Somebody else, I feel like, kind of comes against that, like, You know, like I said, like, what are you doing? Why would you do that? That doesn't make sense. And you're basically telling them, you know what? Has nothing to do with you. Step off the curb, Jack. Okay. So the next card that comes up does talk to me about how other people perceive you. And what I'm seeing here is that other people are seeing that you're not in a very happy space right now. In fact, people may be perceiving you as being gloomy or depressed, or maybe you're having a hard time recovering from a heartache. So a lot of people, and when they think about you, that's what they see. They see that you're just really kind of coming through a tough time emotionally. Now we do have a key lesson or key experience that shows up that happens for you in February. And what we have coming up is a situation that you're working on that requires your self-will, your self-determination, but also the encouragement or maybe even the help of other people as well. And I see that you are working on this situation during February. I'm not real sure that you actually attain the goal here, but I know that you're putting some real effort and some real energy into working towards that goal. This is more of a long-term type thing, and I feel like you're actually making good progress with it as you move forward in February. So as we get into the end of February, as you're still working through this situation and moving forward, I do see a couple of things going on. I see you deciding that it's time to cut the negative BS out of your life. So this can be like deciding, you know what, this relationship is dragging me down and I just can't afford that kind of negativeness around me, and getting out of a relationship. Now this can be a friendship or romantic relationship, blah, blah, blah. This can also be, you know, maybe you've overcommitted yourself and, you know, you're doing things for the PTA and you're doing things for the Girl Scouts and you're doing things for 4-H and you're doing things for who knows what all other kind of organizations, and you're just realizing, you know what, I don't have that much energy. I feel exhausted all the time. I'm running around from here to here to here to here, and I'm kind of tired of it. I would like to have a peaceful life. So then you could be cutting out some of that, because where it started out as being positive, now you're doing so much of it that it's affecting you in a negative way. So that becomes negative BS. So you start to cut that away. So I'm seeing that coming up. Those types of things. Whatever is negative, whatever is affecting you negatively, I see you cutting that away towards the end of February and working on taking control back of your life. Now I also see something really awesome. This is nice. This is like the first really nice love card that I've seen come up for you in this month. Well, we had the expression of love, but you had to defend yourself just to express love. But we have the Two of Cups showing up, which is a great love card. And this is towards the end of the month. This is telling me that towards the end of the month, as you're cutting away the negative stuff, at the same time, there's some kind of new interest sparked. And this new interest can be a new relationship. It could also be a new project at work, a new hobby. This could be a new friendship, but it's something that you're excited about. And it's a little bit newer in your life. It's not, I don't feel like this is long-term and, you know, just renewing that love. So if you're already with somebody, then this is some kind of new love. So this is a new project or a new hobby or something like that, maybe even a new friend. But I don't see this as a new love, like somebody coming in and competing with the old love, the love that's been around for a while. Okay. And then the other thing that comes up right towards the end of the month, I see you really standing up for yourself. So where you cut away the negative, and I feel like this does have to do with where you cut away with the negative, I feel like people are trying to push that negative back into your space again. Here, you used to handle this. Why aren't you handling this now? Here, take it. No. No, that's what I see you saying. No, I see you taking a stand for yourself and just insisting, you know what? No, I cut that negative out for a reason. It's going to stay out. That's the way I want it. All right, so that's what February looks like to me for you Virgos. I do appreciate all of you hanging out, liking, sharing, subscribing, and commenting. Everyone have a fantastic month. I'm not sure if I'm going to do another one next month or not. The response to this month will help me figure that out. But if I do one next month, then I'll see you back here then. Everyone have a fantastic month. Peace out.